cut there. And you can't imagine how different this San Jose really looked before he passed, knew where Granato was, and put it right on the tape.
That goal at 17:58, Granato's 10th.
Let's see if this is Urbe's responsibility from a reverse angle or not. Good snapshot. Well, we'll see from behind. I mean, last year, I got a feeling Arturs Urbe would have stopped this one. That didn't even hit the corner of the net, Gary. That was about 18 inches inside the post.
Right off the pad.
First period, 2-0 St. Louis. Brett Hull to Jeff Norton. Bang, it's in the net. 3-0 Blues. And then it's Hull's turn. Mike?
He's everywhere tonight. Look at Hull on the breakaway. He gets tripped. He gets a pretty good shot away. Ranford makes a good stop, but they give him the penalty shot. Here it is. Hull. Ranford stoned him again.
Third period, 3-0 now Blues. Scuffle in front of the net. The scramble. And it goes in off a skate. Brendan Shanahan credited with it. Second of the night for him, 10th of the year. That made it 4-0, and they would go on for a 5-1 victory for St. Louis. And, man, they certainly needed that victory. So the question is, we discussed the Mike Keenan comments in our first intermission. They go on, and since those comments, they go on a home game, blow out the Oilers. How much did Keenan's comments have to do with this game tonight?
I'm not sure it had anything to do with it tonight. You know, the Oilers are a tough road team. We mentioned it earlier. And even if it did have something to do with it, I still think it's regrettable. I don't think you need to embarrass your organization that way. I think Keenan can get his team better prepared for a game. He doesn't have to rip them apart from top to bottom.
Of course, whatever, from Mike's side, looks like a victory following the comments.
A win's a win, you're right.
That's right, 5-1. They go on for the victory. Calgary and Vancouver, highlights of this one for you. Earlier today, in Calgary, Sheldon Kennedy, the big hit on Dana Merzen. Kay Whitmore net for Vancouver, the stop there on Kelly Kissia. Then Jurke Lume.
Quinn moving in, onside, save Urbe. Another breakaway, that one was short-handed. Quinn moving in, onside, save Urbe. Another breakaway, that one was short-handed. Dan Quinn. Whitney shot, save made, backed up in the air by Friesen behind the net. Power play for the Sharks. Dahlin working from behind, goes up to Ozolinsh. Look at them, how close they are. Dahlin couldn't tip it. The Kings way back on the...
I had it, Ulf Dahlin, pretty good quarterback. There was the little deflection in front by Ray Whitney. He was just trying for a setup on that one.
They have missed Ray Whitney this season. He has been out with injuries, and he's been their leading scorer prior to the injury. Power play here has 14 seconds left on it. Sador, Gretzky, centered, shot, Granato, Flaherty blocked 1-2. Gretzky behind the net, Flaherty gets back in, penalty coming up delayed call on the Sharks.
And the net's off the post, and Rob
off the boards to Sador. Sador centered it, knocked away from Tocchet. Sador back up to Petit over to Gretzky. Shane got a piece of that one, near side to Sador. Sador looking, centering pass right through the legs of Quinn. Gretzky moves back out. Gretzky in the middle. Tocchet one-timer hit the D. Hit Baker with it. Rebound shot deflected to Baker. Rebound. Gretzky saved by Flaherty.
What a shift by Wayne Gretzky. An incredible setup to Rick Tocchet, and then Gretzky swung around and almost got the Tocchet rebound.
Take a look at our Miller Lite
game on the road. His foot really started to hurt him. He doesn't speak English very well, doesn't know American ways very well. He's just over here. What did he do? He picked up the phone and dialed 911. The paramedics and the LA Fire Department arrived at his room. They traced it to the room at the Marriott, and he said, sore foot. They left. They are still contemplating billing him $1,200 for a false 911 call.
Teach all your children to dial 911 and emergency.
But watch this guy, Tupac Conacher, if you can see him. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. He makes a smart play. The unsung guy, Conacher, just digs for the net, go to the net. That's what opened up the seam for Gretzky to pass to Snell. My artwork wasn't very good, but Conacher did a great job on that one. I mean, it's the little things that Pat Conacher does that you don't see. You will not get a point on that play, but Conacher made that lane open up for Gretzky to pass to Snell. And if you have a lane, Wayne doesn't miss.
And it is now a 7-3 score. Friesen centered around to Dahlin. Dahlin with Petit on him. The centering pass. Gretzky's up ice again. Ozolinsh got caught. Gretzky's open. Gretzky shorthanded on Flaherty. Oh, great save by Wade Flaherty on Wayne Gretzky. A second shorthanded chance for the Kings on the same penalty. Icing on the Sharks.
Well, Wayne Gretzky is the first one to admit that if he has any weakness at all in his offensive game, it is breakaways. He hasn't come close to scoring on 50% of them in his career. And you know what? He had Flaherty beat so bad. To me, it looked like he shot it almost back into the middle of the net onto Flaherty's pad. Won't be able to see it from this angle. I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving Flaherty enough credit. Here's the pass earlier from Gretzky to Snell that led to the Snell goal. Baker has been just stifled.
Yeah, he's had some of the best chances. Kelly Rudy's made some of the best saves of the night on him. Here again, Burridge in, Burridge, Flaherty, another save. The Sharks have totally broken down defensively. Bill Clement.
I believe there's another guy with the same name as me that looked like that.
Isn't he a goal judge somewhere? John Drew saved Flaherty against. Mercy, these goals.
And Blair Allison. Marty Turco and Allison put on a show here. Allison off the inside of the stick, deflects just to the left of the goal crease. That was a Rob Gordon attempt. Tremendous pressure here by Purdy, Parmentier, and Wansborough. This is Parmentier on the backhand, Wansborough in front of the net, Purdy to the right. And Turco finally wraps up that one. This is Willis on a break through the face-off circle, a little forehand shot. And Allison with a great pad save, finally cleared there by Lovell. Up and down action, tremendous pressure in that overtime.
You get robbed by a masked man.
Taped a bit from the locker room. Ryan Kraft, opportunistic, takes a shot and a nice save by Walanaimo, who was screened on the shot by Ryan Kraft by his own defenseman.
We don't know what Doug Moog told his team, but they're going to take these kind of shots. If you get a rebound, fine. If it goes through, fine. But make sure you don't get yourself in so deep that you can't get back if Denver breaks out. And I think that's one of the things that you'll see. I think with that...
Here comes Gunther, streaking into the zone. Shot, and off the arm of Callanan. Kept in at the far point by McMillan. He sends it behind the net. Callanan just sweeps it. Now Buzan right in front, tries to force it in. York is there, and now the net has come off its moorings, and we'll have a face-off coming.
Well, it does. Buzan to Gunther. You watch the shot. A little bit on the arm, or maybe not. I'm not sure. That may have just been high and wide. And the Pioneers now pick it up, try to put it in front. But Callanan holds his ground, and the puck comes loose, but the net does too. And that's why we have a face-off to the right of Jeff Callanan. He leaves it for Ritchie. Ritchie shoots, and you see there's no Pioneers there. The first one in was Elders, but he had fallen down. Watch 22. See, he's knocked down. He was the one charging the net, and they weren't able to get somebody on the rebound. Callanan doesn't.
Leadership expectations. Messier, a proven winner who has earned them. They ask that you follow, that you trust, and that you succeed. In this building, they are still celebrating the hanging of this banner. The Stanley Cup champion New York Rangers at home tonight for the first meeting of the season.
The pack in the National Hockey League, their power play ranked 11th. They were 5th last year. Now the New York Rangers are 9th in penalty killing and dropped 4th last year. Short-handed, Messier save made. Intercepted in the zone. Graves had his shot deflected wide. So the short minutes into this first period. It has been a feel-out period, though. After the face-off is tipped away, Philadelphia unable to convert on their power play chance. Rangers back at full strength here, and they killed it off pretty well. Leaf stepped up to the wide side. Even strength here. Hextall, the shot deflected by Noonan right in the crease. Rebound tipped away, but not out of the zone. Julien cleared it to the near.
Behind Ron Hextall. He had the angle. Our goal cam will pick it up. Watch the post on the left here, down low. The puck will end up here on the rebound off the post, and then watch it right back out through Ron Hextall's legs. So it was help with that one, and Adam Graves drove the net and drew a penalty, so now the Rangers have the power play.
Power play Rangers. They get Messier out there with Leach working at the point. Wound up, shot wide of the net. Guys falling down on the ice here as though a little problem catching the edges out there. Both teams have had guys sliding around a little bit early on. Kovalev left it for Leach, back over to Messier, looking, tipped on. Graves, shot wide of the net. Hextall may have gotten the first one.
And number 9 in white, Leach to Messier. And Graves is alone at this point. It just didn't get there. Pretty decent defensive play by Eric Desjardins, who was out front. To Goldcamp look at it.
Boy, Hextall, we've already seen him roam to each corner.
Both had their monthly doses of frustration having to play Florida.
That's what happens. Noonan save, rebound in front, loose, held onto by Lowe. Kevin Lowe drops it down. Power play over. Philadelphia killed it off. Set up side of the net. Noonan was over there, no chance.
Game 7's the year before, the one you were talking about, the one that was by Mike Richter before he flinched.
What a shot. 10 minutes left. Left it off back to Messier. Passes behind him from Larmer. Back to the point. Leach. In. Dot. Shot. Save. Hextall. Rebound. Couldn't knock it down. Messier was there. Messier was standing.
Was having his off nights. For Patrick, in his last 2 games, he lost 6-1 on the road to the Devils, and at home 7-0. An embarrassment against the Philadelphia Flyers. To make matters worse, he's been accused of influencing Coach Jacques Demers, telling him when he should play and when he shouldn't play. And now Demers is feeling the pressure. There was even a call for his job, or at least some sort of... I'll tell you why. Little things aren't going well for him. In critical moments of the games, he seems a little too slow, and he seems to me to be, well, I guess, more of a checkable player. Gretzky usually makes things happen, but right now, like Roy, he's been accused of making management decisions. Since Bruce McNall has left, I don't think that's the case. I think too much has been made of that for Gretzky. He's really struggled.
The question is, can he play all season and in the playoffs with this much ice time? Shorthanded steal. Hextall in the save. Hextall was terrific when he had to be early. Another save by Ron Hextall. Power play. Messier shot. Graves deflection.
Messier came so close, trying to bat it out of the air. Went away, second period. Moves in, penalty coming. Leak shot, Hextall makes the glove save, and the Rangers will get a power play as a penalty at center ice and a haul down. We'll give it to him.
Well, nobody would be sitting in the box if Ron Hextall hadn't made the save. There's the takedown in the neutral zone, but watch this save by Ron Hextall on the Brian Leach shot. He had to move to get that. That wasn't one of those into the gloves and then arm up. Watch it. Now, Ron Hextall over the last half-dozen games, and this is start number 6 for him, has been very steady. Excellent, as a matter of fact.
The break never got a chance, though. Messier rips it. Hextall. Rebound. Graves didn't see it as it bounced off him and behind him. End to end with not a lot of chances in this game. Mateau's got it on the far side. Stepan Mateau centered. Straight down the middle. Noonan. Shot. Great save. Hextall just had it off reach as Noonan got him down on the ice and couldn't pick it up.
Big, long left arm came down, clunk, and stopped him.
Right on the very end of it. Shot save. Hextall calling on rebound. Shot saved by Hextall again. Adam Graves on the backhand shot, and it's cleared by the Flyers.
What agility. Ron Hextall said he was faster now that he has lost 10 pounds, and he has just made 3 incredible stops.
He's got the Garden buzzing on those chances. Rangers wondering what they've got to do to score. Rimmer comes in and pays for it as he gets nailed by Gary Galley. Hextall gives it the 9-iron, not out of the zone. Karpantsev held it in. Both behind the net. Pass intended for Larmer. Broken up by Gary Galley. Galley cleared it up.
Get it from Brian Noonan. Noonan had a hat trick on Wednesday night, trying for another one here. Only one left arm stopped him. Hextall was put together. He picked up a tie last night, only allowed 2 goals, so he didn't skate this morning to save his strength. The way this is going, he may need a lot of strength. One terrific save with the right bat. Watch this diving save on Kovalev.
Rangers are having real problems finding the net, and now they've got a red-hot, it looks like, Ron.
Mark Messier just never wants to disappear. What a play through traffic. I mean, there were 2 Flyers between Messier and Larmer, but the Flyers were going the wrong way, and Mark Messier waited till their skates cleared and hit Steve Lowe. Look at Larmer, 28, going right down the middle. All Flyers with their backs turned to him. except Brent Feddick, number 18, who was a little late reacting to get to him, and Messier found him. Messier on the faceoff against Brind'Amour. Now he let Brind'Amour go. Here's Brind'Amour trying to get to the net. You know, when you win the faceoff clean back to the point, it's such an advantage for the forwards because you have to almost hold them or hook. The Flyers have had so few shots on goal. They got to start taking them.
Straight down the middle. Renberg! And he missed it.
Well, he took that one, but the Flyers have been in position to shoot. And
Lindros looking. Backhand shot. Richter the save. Renberg able to pick it up. Renberg along the boards. Taken out to the puck. Cleared up post. 2-on-1. Mateau dropped it off. Straight down the middle. Kovalev scores!
Mateau with a perfect lead pass to Kovalev. Watch Kovalev's move. He gets Hextall going the wrong way because he faked the shot low to the stick side, then went back. Watch this. Ron Hextall will flinch to the right. They're right there. And then Kovalev pulled it back to the backhand, got it airborne. I think he dinged it in off the post.
What a great shot. Oh. Kovalev, who's so delighted to be back at
years in the minors in Indianapolis. Traded for Bob Wilkie. Brian Leach's shot. Let's see if the follow through on the stick is what got him. Yep, the puck went right over. It looked like the heel of Brian Leach's stick on the follow through just slapped right into his eyebrow. Oh, good look at it. His helmet came up and everything. Obviously an accident.
What a pass by Karpatsev.
Terrific, but still, the last Flyer up ice has to always check to see where the front leading Ranger guy is. And nobody picked up Steve Larmer with a big hook off the boards and right up the middle. That they've been able to actually overpower people. Eric Lindros, first of all, had it, dumped it in front. And Renberg and Leclerc got both of them in behind all of the Rangers. And then look, even with Bukaboom draped all over Renberg, he still scored. Brian Leach tried to push Renberg out of the way. John Leclerc made his way to the puck, and then, I mean, that's power.
That's that line. They're on the board. They rush it. Messier, great pass. Graves moves. He shot. He scores.
To stick handle the puck. See, Messier dumped it ahead of Jim Montgomery so that Graves could just get around him. And then Wiley was hooked. He ripped it to the top corner. What a shot.
As Mike Lang would say in Pittsburgh, he beat him like a rented mule. Here in the second period, Lindros again shot. Richter save, rebound. Oh, Mammy, he was out of the net. And somehow Brent Feddick could not redirect it in. Would have been close to the buzzer. Richter has given up only one on 12 shots by the Flyers and takes a 4-1 lead in with the Rangers.
Can't imagine how hard it is to stand there inactive almost the entire game, only facing 11 shots, and then come up with a reflex shot like that. He has to be ice cold right at the end of the period. Terrific shot, and Eric Lindros has one of the best wrist shots in the game. Little help on the coverage on Feddick, but the first save was a dandy.
Good play by
5-4-2, very nice on the road, yet the league's worst at home, 1-6-1 at Reunion Arena tonight. Highlights of the Stars and Mighty Ducks. Patrick Karn back, welcome to the net. Early on, Todd Harvey picks off a Randy Ladouceur pass, breaks away all alone, beats Guy Bear, and the rookie putting the Stars up by a score of 1-0. Here's the Stars in the power play. Mike Modano clanks one off the post. Grant Ledyard, the follow, goes wide. Dallas peppering Hebert. More for the Stars. Trent Platt pounces on the puck. Hebert, the glove save right there. Mike, having another look at the goal.
Absolutely. Now, Ladouceur gets trapped here. That's basically it. He has nowhere to go. He should have just dumped it. Harvey in the right spot. And look at this. Takes a nice look, picks his head up, and pops it home.
Wayne Locker defending the nets here in beautiful Boston. Locker. First time I've heard 14,000 people chant my name. When you start off good and you show everybody how good you can play right away, you know, the expectations stay up there. And so then you're forced to keep playing that way every night out.
Great right pass save by Locker.
No, I don't feel secure. With every passing game, you know, a bad goal here and a bad goal there, you don't know if you're going to be playing again the next night.
He's a young guy, and the thing he's got to learn more than anything else, like everybody in the game, is consistency on a day-to-day basis, his mental approach, and staying involved in the game.
You kind of have to be calm about what you do and focused. You know, goaltending is as much a mental game as anything, and you have to be in the game for 60 minutes. Sometimes I like to just sing a little song in my head while the puck's in the other end. And I always think of music when I play for some reason. After I leave the rink, you know, if I'm feeling a little pressure, I just go home and unplug my phone, play Sega for a few hours, and I'll feel good again. Well, I'm confident when things are going good and cocky, but sometimes I have a little trouble dealing with the adversity of a bad game, so luck definitely not. I'm good enough to play here.
The rebound, a great save by Locker.
Well, I hope I can improve my game and have a long, good career here.
Blaine Locker living a pretty good life to be a rookie, leading Boston and have a goals against of 1.
Blasted around Jim Montgomery and then ripped one to the top corner, 4-1. So it's the big play that has really taken the Flyers down.
You take a look at Ron Hextall. These goals, you can't blame on the goaltender, but the Ranger fans all over him, and he does get to him in some games, and that was his reaction on goal number 4 as he whipped it into the boards. Third period, ready to go. Philadelphia. Pick it up. Renberg, Lindros, and Leclerc started out. On the left side, middle, Renberg, great save. Richter, that's a big save. Gilbert Dion drops it back. Shot, Galley. Ripped that one high over the head of Richter. Picked up by Renberg. Renberg back up near side. Galley, second chance. It's loose in the slot. Lindros couldn't get it. Wraparound shot. Renberg didn't go in. Mercy. He had Mike Richter down. Richter holding onto the post, literally on that. Galley looking for his third chance on this ship. Galley sends it behind the net.
Right there on the play, Bukaboom complained that he was taken down illegally. But look at Leclerc. 3 Rangers caught behind Leclerc. Lindros was standing over to the side of the net with the gun cocked. Renberg said, I can handle this one, Eric. Look at on the left of your screen, top left. Look at Lindros. Renberg decides to shoot himself. He didn't need Eric Lindros. So the Flyers have closed it. If they were going to do something right, they have done it in front of him. They broke down for the goal. Renberg had a clear shot, but the Flyers had a lot of pressure before that, I'll tell you. Galley's shot. Watch the Richter save here on Renberg. So it's almost as if somebody owed Michael Renberg one. Remember the save in the first period that Hextall made with the arm? This one was just as good. Oh, baby. That rolled up the blade, and he had to squeeze it off the post. And that's
away with that one. Tipped away by Lowe, but not out of the zone. Renberg's in front. Shot. Leclerc went wide. I'm not sure what that hit. Leimer bounces it up in the air. Renberg tried to knock it down. Messier bounces it out of the zone. Rangers control. Didn't have anybody in front of the net. Yowzer, what a hit. Dykhouse from behind. Hextall knocked it away. Here comes Lindros.
And engraved with a terrific hit on Carl Dykhouse. Now, when Dykhouse came off the boards, he turned and went the other way. And this is Dykhouse coming at Joey Koster. Watch the hit. I mean, when Koster stopped, it really was Joey Koster stopping that turned him so that he was facing the boards. But Dykhouse dodged the bullet. That could have been a big call.
Yeah, that could have been easy.
Joey Koster had shoulder surgery in the offseason, so
Got it back up on that one. Here's Leclerc. Shot. Save made by Richter. This line continues to pound the puck on Richter and hold it in the zone. Renberg off for Leclerc. It just missed. Lindros was already ready to celebrate.
On the team, but he still is the Moose. Some great work along the boards here by the Flyers to keep this alive. And then Renberg to Leclerc. Oh, what a save by Richter.
Down low, and Chinov chance. Straight down the middle, shot, just deflected wide. Again, it's the D.
The Rangers, the last 15 minutes. Here is Eric Desjardins' shot. I think Kevin Lowe got a piece of that and just deflected it wide.
To him as he dumped it in. Decided not to play it. Leaves it there. They pop it up. Centered for Leclerc. His shot, he had no angle, and it went right over Richter. No angle. Tried to clear it out, could not. Shot by Joby Messier, saved by Hextall again. Rangers putting some pressure on. Hextall out as Matteau missed the net on that one. Jam up along the near side boards.
Kovalev got dumped over.
Edmonton, just seconds ago, Scott Thornton beat Ed Belfour, the one goal of the game. Edmonton up 1-0.
Who are those guys?
Mike Richter had Kevin Lowe go down in front of him. Might have saved the day. I think he got a piece of it. Shortly after that, John LeClaire. Well, he was almost, yes, he was behind the goal line, and it didn't nick the post. He couldn't have scored, but if he had gotten the deflection, it could have worked. Heat ball right there.
Shot Karpatsev saved by Hextall. That was right on along the ice. Back to the near side point. Karpatsev working on the power play here. Steve Weimer back to Karpatsev. A minute left in the power play. Karpatsev wide side. They're trying to spread it out. That's Messier over there. They got Weimer set up in front now. Messier, power play Rangers. Way in. Shot Hextall save. Rebound score! 2 rebounds not covered. Adam Graves. Power.
To stick on the play, so that's terrific positioning by Adam Graves and little late reaction by the Flyers to get to him, but give a lot of credit to this.
Nedved has played very, very little this third period. I don't think he's been on. LeClaire scores! John LeClaire rips it home 5-3.
Well, you got to love this. This is just power against power. The Lindros line comes right back after the Messier line scores and cuts the gap to 2. They're going to have to strike again quickly to make this a game because we're down to 2 cents to get out of the zone, and then turned it into a 3-on-2 rush with LeClaire going wide and just ripping it by. Wow. A 3-on-2 rush, but Gary Lindros.
For you, highlights from Edmonton. First period, Scott Thornton steals the puck from Eric Reinrich, but Ed Belfour there to save his defenseman. Still in the first, Edmonton shorthanded, and Thornton gets it by Belfour on the glove side. Edmonton a 1-0 lead. Still in the first, Tony Amonte takes the pass along in front. He is stopped by Bill Ranford, and that's the way it remains right now. 1-0. The Oilers over by a score 1-0. Stars on the power play. Madonna hits the post. Grant Ledyard fires it wide. Dallas peppering Guy Hebert. And for the Stars, Trent Klatt pouncing on the puck. Hebert, the glove save there as well. And the action continues on. Darcy Wakaluk, the star.
Gets outside the blue line. You're going to see a screen in front of him. Through the legs. Turco just missed it. Whipped it off the skate. Now watch again. Right shot coming off the left wing side. On his forehand. Blue line. Out of the pads of the defenseman out in front. Goal per.
Bears have a 2-on-1 with the game tied at 2. Manzoff is to the right wing. The shot is taken and the save made by Turco. Remain. Pass. Just over the stick of a teammate. Here's Lovell. Lovell gets around the defense. Out of his net is the goaltender Turco, and Maine couldn't cap it. Number 5 is Jack Rodriguez. Takes the shot. Save Turco. Sticks it to the corner. Rodriguez is back on it. Skates unimpeded. Michigan's Morrison gets the pass, goes to the backhand. Allison with a pad save and grabs it out of the air with a glove hand.
Gordon makes the pass. Rob Gordon, beautiful pass. Now Hines hasn't covered here, but he does a turnaround, and Morrison controls the puck, able to get the backhand shot off on Allison. Allison with the save. Brendan Morrison out of.
Willis down the slot, backhand save. Allison and the rebound. 3 Tim Hogan. Here's Willis. Willis down the slot, backhand save. Allison and the rebound is swept aside. White saved the day.
About 50 miles from here. Great break as he beats Schermerhorn on the back check. Excellent stop there as Allison slides out the stack pad to make the save.
At center. Loading carries in, fakes the shot. Cross-ice pass shot and a save by Allison to the corner. The shot there. Michigan beating Wisconsin in Madison to get here.
Purdy's going to pick up the penalty here from the left wing side. Gets the shot off and then bumps the goaltender. Can't do that. That's interference. I think Purdy ended up the worse for wear in that exchange. Sakala gives him a pop. Purdy, lots of things he's shot this year have gone in the net. Gets dumped, gets whacked by the goalie. Dumped.
2-2 game with so much on the line. Thompson is a nice shot, keeping it in the Michigan zone. He's got Lovell with him, and Hines trailing the play. Goes to the backhand himself, and a nice job by Turco, who read the play, came out, and made the stop.
Well, what happens on this play, Thompson had a trouble. Pretty well played inside by Blake Sloan from Michigan. Watch him. He's going to take Lovell all the way, but that gives Thompson pretty much of a run to the front of the net. Blocked there by Sloan. Excellent play.
And the
Poke
goaltender
check,
used the stick.
Poke check right there. by Turco. Misses slightly, but I think it's a Sloan play coming over to block that really is key. He covered Lovell and came over to... They weren't covered very many people inside. This one sort of slips right through. Allison has to reach back sort of like a change of pace in baseball. Almost gets caught over the short side. Puck's going to bounce right by the corner of the goal cage. Now he tries to freeze it as the puck is being banged away at it by Jason Botterill. He's a load and a half at 6 foot. Moves it inside of Schermerhorn. Great back diagonal pass to Torrey. Just misses far side post. You get Torrey that puck by the dot there.
Onside to Lovell. Lovell is put from behind by Hilton and tries to draw an Academy Award. Doesn't do it, but Lovell has the puck. Goes in on the goaltender Turco, who's
great cleverness with the stick. Really very creative, and he has some room here to move. Tries to come in from behind the goal line. He really sort of unhindered as they're letting him operate down there. Maine's covering, Michigan covering everybody in the front. Let him walk out, and Turco covers that corner, makes the save.
level size pass. The Parmentier takes the shot, stick save. And a nice one by Turco. Wansborough in his right corner. Wansborough again. Parmentier in front. Turco goes down. Puck is down. Shot is taken. Turco is on his belly, and he has the puck in his glove.
Well, excellent power play movement by Maine. That's a little shot in front, but that caused most of the problems. Purdy's in front there. Parmentier with a wrist shot just by the hash mark. Snaps one off, and Turco makes the save. See, Purdy's in the crease there, but so's the puck, so there's no crease violation. Here's Parmentier. He's a great wrist shooter. Snaps that one off. What a save by Turco. Boy, from that angle, you can see what a save that was.
Now breaking out of the Michigan, or rather McCult breaking out of the Michigan zone. Dumps to the corner. Allison spices up the situation and leaves it. Michigan will keep it in. Leg behind the main goal. And McCult in front. He shoots, and how did Allison get anything on that? I thought he was beaten dead to rights. McCult, another shot. Another shot. Allison with a magical glove save. Blair Allison saves the day for Maine, keeping this game tied at 2.
Well, sometimes it just happens to be your night. McCult from behind the net, and leg here gets the glove up. This one's goal bound. How did he stop that? Oh, boy. Wow.
His name is Blair Allison,
Wow.
and he's the reason right now, Bob, why Maine is still in a tie game.
Well, he made a great save on McCult. We weren't quite sure how he got that one, and then he makes this kind of save. Just gets the glove up in the air, and you live it on the right star. Whoa.
Well, he
play.
Hogan, as Michigan wins the faceoff, an innocent-looking shot. The rebound, and Allison has to cover up. As Herr was there, he has a goal already today.
Real good control of it, and he leaves it right in front. The rebound, Herr comes by. He gets by Hines. Herr's just a big, strong guy. Fights himself through Hines and takes that little backhand flip up that Allison.
A giveaway here. And here comes Maine. Thompson. Thompson to the backhand, and a good poke check with the goaltender. Rebound, and the shot never gets in.
Goes by Hogan, comes to the front of the net and catches the knee.
Ow.
Then they had a rebound shot. That came right on the stick of Lovell. Thompson, down goes Turco. Lovell has the chance on the rebound. Now watch the slash here. More a trip than a slash.
Well, Hogan, no matter, will set for 2.
Chris Hines gets the puck with one of those almost outs for Michigan, and those will kill you. Hines finds open ice. There's Schermerhorn, left side. Hines to the inside. Gets the defense down. Commits the goalie. Has Matisek and Schermerhorn in front. Schermerhorn on the stick with the pass. Schermerhorn puts it away. Now you see Mike Knuble leads the country in goal scoring. Little flipper from the inside. Deflection by Knuble. 15th power play goal. 38th goal of the season. As with Imes, great players make great plays.
The Penguins were in a sticky situation. Missing Mario Lemieux, Tom Barrasso, and Kevin Stevens, they now face the Nordiques without Ron Francis. But 2 goals from Chris Joseph and Ken Reggett's goaltending picked up the slack.
Le voilà devant les murs. En croisé maintenant devant Murphy. Derrière pour Lefebvre. Un tir. Et le tir off! L'arrêt de Reggett pour défendre Scorpion.
It was soon clear that 2 real heavyweights were giving this game their best shot. The Pens would land one, and the Nordiques would counter. In the 3rd period, the score was tied 2-2 when Quebec struck again.
Tente de l'empêcher d'aller plus loin. C'est Kamienski maintenant. Oh, il a levé les yeux. Rate sa passe. Un tir. Ritchie du Rebecca. Mike Ritchie.
Mike Ricci gave the Nordiques a 3-2 lead. But moments later, the Penguins answered back thanks to Martin Straka. Now the score was 3-3 in the third period. Later, the Nordiques came oh so close to taking the lead as Joe Sakic nearly scored. But Kjell Samuelsson swept the puck away, and the heroics were confirmed by the video goal judge. In fact, the game's next tally would come on a shorthanded effort from Thomas Sandstrom.
Lost the puck. Mullen's got a man open. Sandstrom trying to beat him. He's hooked from behind, coming towards the net. Falls down, shoots. Thomas Sandstrom on his backside gives the Penguins a lead with a brilliant short-handed goal. Scratch 5 back with a hacksaw. Thomas Sandstrom with a goal of the year.
With 6 minutes remaining, the Penguins led 4-3, but this game was far from over. Moments later, Owen Nolan and the Nordiques stood in to tie the score. Two teams giving it all they had. It just figured that the knockout blow would come from Jaromir Jagr, the hottest player in the league.
Cullen moves into Quebec territory. Cullen trying to find Jagr. Jagr behind the goal, turns around, looking, backhander. Hey! Nelson scores! Jaromir Jagr! And the Penguins have the lead again, 5-4. Now you'd have to be here to believe it.
Final score, Pittsburgh 5, Quebec 4. The Penguins came out on top. Now it's time.
Now Tucker gets it. That shot was blocked. And Mullen will clear it behind his goal. Now steal. In front, Tucker, great chance. He scores! John Tucker on a blatant giveaway. It's 1-1.
Now Bukaboom coughs it up. Here's Breezeball backhand. Scores! Makarov loses it. Berthiaume after him. Makarov loses his balance. Linden walking right in.
Ernie Nickel trying to center one. He got it ahead. Here's Poulin moving right in. And his shot kicked away by Joseph. And then a bouncing puck to Roenick. He's into the backhand center. Poulin. He scores! Patrick Poulin after a nifty move by Roenick. Getting it ahead to Sundin. He's in over the line with a shot. And that changed direction. And Vernon was able to get his stick on it. A shot from the blue line. Blocked by the seat of Coffey. Shot scores! Now look at Coffey. He turned his back on the shot, then gave the puck away. Paul Coffey had about 10 of the worst seconds of his career.
Hockey can be very revealing. One moment you're beautiful, and the next you're undressed before the world. That may be okay for models, but it's sure tough on players.
Clears it into the Hog zone. Out comes Weinrich. Looking for Murphy. Stripped away by Sundin. Cutting and shooting. He scores! Matt Sundin picked Joe Murphy's pocket. Roenick trying to pass it to himself. Pekka got a piece of him. And then a steal away from Lume. Here's a shot. He scores! A Bernie Nichols strip and steal.
1:10 left in the New York penalty. Canadians with the goal. Turgeon stealing it. Scores! Turgeon, ever dangerous, stole the puck inside the Canadians' line.
The goaltender is the stopper. He's the man who takes all the shots. And no matter how big and strong he might be, every goalie has moments he'd like to forget.
Out come the Hawks. Here comes Yzerman. Over the line to Murphy. Stops to the near side. Takes a look. Put it to Yzerman, who's centered. Potvin stole. He put it into his own net. Felix Potvin tried to steal the pass, and he redirected it through his own legs.
Eric Lindros has some time to take a look at that score clock. Scores!
Grant Fuhr gets a glove on it. The puck trickles into the net. This would have been well over the top of the goaltender's cage.
Now behind the net, Krieger again. Krieger waits, puts it out of the slot. Kozlov, that hit his skate. Oh, what happened here? How did that puck get by Vernon? It's good for the goaltender.
He's probably embarrassed about it. See him just nod his head like, oh, dang it.
In any field of endeavor, it's necessary to have the right equipment. When all the parts mesh, anything is possible. But if a gear comes loose, you can go down in flames. Such was the case recently when Chris Osgood lost his stick thanks to Ty Domi. Osgood was left feeling a little empty-handed.
Osgood still can't get the stick. Good play by Lidstrom on Domi. Now Yzerman lost the puck. Did not score. Well, if Osgood had not gone
on to reach for the stick. I think it was Paul Coffey that went to get it for him. He thought the puck was out of harm's way, but it did get turned over, and Jamnov scores.
Hockey is surely a physical game, but the mental part can be more important. Just ask San Jose's goaltender, Artur Zerbe.
By the Oilers down the ice. Zerbe will be careful here as time runs down, and he gives it right away for a goal. Off Larionov, and Zerbe makes a brutal mistake.
These things happen in life, but we must remember no matter how arduous and costly may be the hands of fate, tomorrow brings new twists and turns and the chance for something great. This week, he was in goal for victories over the Penguins and arch-rival Bruins.
A backhander and a save by Burke, and the follow-up is a shot to save, and another one by Burke, and Burke the story there. The Bruins had 3 chances.
The player of the week, Hartford's Sean Burke. Time victories list. There's been plenty of goals brought to you by Contact 12-Hour Cold Caplets.
John Druce loses it to Trevor Linden. The captain ahead for Ronning. He's got Courtnall with him. Oh, great drop pass by Ronning to Courtnall. Scores! Oh, man, they're putting on a clinic now. Cliff Ronning with a drop pass, and Jeff Courtnall with the bullet.
Casatana well up on the boards, kicks it free to Oates. Oates puts it out for a quick shot. Score by the Bruins. Ray Bourque on the power play.
Oates waits. Hasek has to hold the short side, can't get straightened away. Ray Bourque with a great backhand pass by Adam Oates. Just squirts through the legs of Dominic Hasek.
Here's Wade as the Oilers hold it in the zone. Doug Wade on the backhand. Dishes to the side, they score. It's Corson.
Great pass. I don't know whether he saw him there or not, but he just drove it across and the open net for Shane Corson.
That was a pretty feed by Wade.
Here's Roenick back over the Blues line. Uamani on right wing. He turns along the board, jams loose to Roenick, side of the net for Nichols. He scores! What a play by Roenick. With his back to the goal, moving toward the net. He somehow spotted Nichols at the near post and bang.
Patrick Carback on the left side. He's going to be met. Head on the far wing point. Feeds out front. Duras along, shoots and scores! What a play by Carback to Duras. And the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim have won it in overtime, 5-4.
Hope you enjoyed it.
5 ties. Across the country we go to Anaheim. Ducks hosting the Flames. Gary Vaught feeding Sean Van Allen for the goal. 2-zip Ducks. Tied at 2 in the third. Phil Housley gathers the loose puck, drops it to Theron Fleury into Sheldon Kennedy for the goal. The go-ahead marker, 3-2 for the Flames. A little later, Robert Reichel adding the insurance goal. Look at the one-on-one moves. Lights the lamp. 4-2, 5-3 the final. Calgary.
The Chicago Blackhawks have personality, pointed in the direction of the Stanley Cup, looking over their shoulder at the competition, and enjoying every minute of being on top. This team believes it can win. Is this the year of the Blackhawks? And held up against the boards. Doug Smolik back in his own end. A couple of shots on for the Hawks early on in the game. Straight down the middle. Belfour the save on Mike Donnelly.
Defenseman at the other end tonight. Kind of a surprise starter simply because Andy Moog has played the majority of games. Darcy Wakalak has appeared in 5 games. He is the starter tonight.
28 years old, making just his 5th.
Look at this. Chelios actually led the rush, dropped it back. Nice play here by Murphy to get it back to Chelios, and I don't know how Wakalak stopped this one. Now I know, off his stick and into his glove. I thought it might have gone under him because I lost sight of it, but it was a pretty good save.
And they will punch the net, chase it down. I've never heard that said to a center as a coach, and he smiled. They face a 4-on-4 here. No power play. Shot by Courtnall. Save made Belfour. Right back to Courtnall. Russ Courtnall. Courtnall leaves it down low for Gagne. Gagne, who has started out well, whips that one wide, and Nichols picks it. Amati acquired from the Rangers. Moved in. Puck checked away. Darcy Wakalak. 10. Shot back in and a fight at center ice, and there he is. Todd Harvey's playing in only his 10th NHL game and taking a beating from Cam Russell.
Well, he doesn't have the reach. Cam Russell is 6'4", but Todd Harvey landed a bunch early. He is a gamer. Oh, baby.
Over here to give this team some muscle, and he immediately jumped into the affray.
You want to dance? I'll dance.
Boy, Bill, if ever there's a situation, people want to understand, why do you have these guys who can fight? Here it is right here. A good, hard elbow. You're not going to get away with that against the guy who doesn't fight. His teammate comes over and says, you want to dance? Let's go.
And you know what? If there isn't an equalizer or a stabilizer.
12:30 left to go. Platt was moving in. Chelios took it away. Pass intercepted. Gagne and a rub up and another behind the net. And again, not out of the zone. Chelios shot. Wakaluk the save. Hatcher there to Gagne down the middle. Courtnall centered it. Just missed May. Alan May along the boards. Two Blackhawks on him. Route 2 centered. Shot. Save. Belfour. Courtnall was there for the tip. Picked up on the far side by Weinrich. Cleared out of the zone. Darian Hatcher.
Jim Cummins is the guy that was a human cannonball.
They're still going at it. Shot save. Made Belfour. Penalty coming up. Puck's loose behind the net. And there's the win.
The Rangers are spending their night. Watch Mark Messier to Adam Graves. Graves' a deflection goes off the defenseman, and Hasek has it, and then Graves' momentum forces him. Puck actually goes in. They rule it no goal. Less than a minute later, Peter Nedved to Sergei Zubov.
And it's still up to Gary Bettman, the commissioner, to decide whether he can return. That has to be resolved, but if the Hawks get him, look out.
Oh, what a shot by Platt there. Point shot. Hatcher save made by Belfour. Power play for the Stars. No score in this game. It has been wide open and well played and very physical. Bernie Nichols bangs it out of the zone. They come on the forecheck that time in the shorthanded unit, Chicago. Platt gets jammed near side again by Steve Smith. Here's Eddie Belfour. Caught out of the net. Platt's open. Shot bounced off skates wide. Rebound Hatcher. Deflected wide in front of the net. Platt knocked that down and redirected it. Madonna to the point. Hatcher wide. Rebound. They can't get it up in the air. Eddie Belfour blocked it on Madonna. Great play by Belfour. Madonna lifted it, but not enough. Intended for Madonna. Bounces off his skates. Tony Amani leveled by Darian Hatcher. But he didn't get the shot off. Suter blocked it. Held in, and the power plays down to 9 seconds. Gagne score!
And Russ Courtnall makes a heck of a play here. He's got pressure on him. And you know what? The defense moved up. Suter moved up. Weinrich had 2 players. There's Gagne 15. Everson 16. It's a heck of a play by Courtnall out of the blue line here to make this happen. Right between the legs. That had to go really above the paddle of the stick.
Cleared out to center. Broughton brings it in. Center to the backhander, deflected wide by brother Neil Broughton. Sent ahead by Murphy into the zone. Route 2 save by Wakaluk. Dribbled behind him. And he clears it up the far side.
Covered. Here's Shantz to Krivokrasov. Yeah, the problem there was that Grant Ledyard, number 12 for Dallas, actually went after Shantz when he should have backed off and taken C12 White there. I don't know if he saw Krivokrasov coming too late, but Grant Ledyard kind of got caught in between.
Eddie Belfour, who loves to play the puck, moved it up but not out. Turnaround shot went wide. Chased down far side by Amati. Madonna had him lined up, couldn't quite get him. Amati dumped it into the middle. Cavallini hacks it out of the zone. Talking about Eddie Belfour moving the puck, Bill, this morning he was telling us he has the same elbow pads that he's worn for 7 years, because when he puts new ones on, they're too stiff when he tries to move the puck.
That's not only the elbow pads, it's all one piece, right up the arms. The shoulder, arms, and elbows are all connected, but just 7 years, and he just can't break in a new pair.
That's why the lockers on either side of him are empty. Centering pass, not game. Leading the rush, dumped it in wide. Cam Russell going back to get it. He got pinned up, dug out. Gilchrist, Belfour looking, it's loose. Nichols sends it around the net. It's set there in the crease. Back to Broughton to the point. Lined up shot, just wide of the net. May have hit the stick. Doug Smolik shot. 7-0 whitewashing of Montreal at the Forum on Saturday night against Patrick Roy. Roenick down, puck loose. Wakaluk batted it away. Platt can't get it out. Chelios save, score! Chris Chelios may have been tipped in front by Amati.
1857.
A knuckleball.
Diving, but it...
Now the Hawks thought it was a dirty play. Roenick left the game, and he is done for the season. Torn ACL. He's in pain and in tears. Third period still tied at 1. Mike Donnelly picks Chris Chelios' pocket, and he beats Belfour. Dallas beats Chicago 2-1. Torsha was a star for Dallas, stopping 29 shots. But once again, Jeremy Roenick is done for the season. Torn ACL.
These days, the Rangers are trying to avoid going from the proverbial penthouse to the outhouse. The world champions haven't looked much like champions and are in a battle for the 8th and final Eastern playoff spot, trying to hold off now Hartford and Florida, of all people. Rangers at Philadelphia. Adam Graves enforcing a little action here. Oh, look out. First period. Pat Verbeek, stick handles, floats one past Ron Hextall. 1-0 Rangers. Flyers come back. Eric Lindros just knocks Brian Leetch right off the puck. Gilbert Gideon picks it up, feeds Lindros in front. He beats Mike Richter. Tied at 1. Second period, Flyers up 2-1. Lindros feeds John Lefleur, who unloads from the left circle. Right there. Philly cruising 3-1. Third period, Lindros strikes again. Watch him work. Right out front. Beats Richter. Big day for Big 88. Flyers take it 4-2. Phillies 3-game losing streak.
From the corner to the net. Chelios gets tied up. Good play, Mike Donnelly. Center. Comes all the way back to the point. Ledger deflected just wide with Platt set up in front, long enough in front, along with Donnelly. Power play over. Chicago's killed it off. In on Belfour, knocked it away. Chelios trying to get it out of the zone. Madonna had it, lost it along the boards to Roenick. Madonna had a broken stick. Sent in, far side, shot.
Watch what he does here. Just keep your eyes on him and watch the puck when it comes to him. Is that incredible or what? And then Tony Amani took him down. Watch Madonna went for his legs, slashing him at the end there. Boom. So it's a frustrating time for Mike Madonna.
The Stars have only 11 shots on net. Portnoy's going to get one. Save made by Belfour. Came way out and cut the angle down. 7:50 some shots. 3-on-3 the other way. Roenick moving in. Roenick comes near side. Dropped it in front. Wakaluk save. Rebound goes behind the net. Wakaluk's tied up in the net. No whistle. But Dallas has the Donnelly. Donnelly drops it off. 2-on-3 the other way. Back to Donnelly. Donnelly the shot. Save Eddie Belfour. And he takes a charge. Puck loose. No goal. No goal. Donnelly was playing himself a good second period. Donnelly centered. Save made by Belfour. Todd Harvey, the rookie, almost got it anyway. And centering pass. Mays open near side. Can't get it to him. He was behind the net. Wraparound chance. Eddie Belfour finally knocked it down. Great play by Dean Evison. All the way around. He was looking for May. Couldn't find him. Murphy the other way. Murphy dropped it. Shot. Deflected by Hatcher out in front. Off. Mike Donnelly on the left wing side. Receives the draw. Back. Later shot. Save made. Rebound. Donnelly. Madonna were both there. Chelios knocked it away. Madonna. Great save by Belfour. Eddie Belfour in the short side post, knocking away the power play chance. And that's one of the keys to Chicago. That man right there, isn't it?
I feel this city.
You get the feeling Esa Tikkanen would be happy playing anywhere. He's just plain happy being himself.
Handsome, beautiful, 30 years old, blue eyes.
Left wing, 10-year veteran, 5 Stanley Cups, and definitely, indubitably, the most annoying motor mouth in the NHL.
Minä haluan ottaa sinut minun ihon sisälle. Oski.
Just yipping and yapping, and the best thing about it is nobody knows what he's talking about.
In the Helsinki, they did a film about me yapping in a hockey game. And when I see that film, I was like, holy smoke, what the heck I say in there?
But it's his own language. It's part Finnish, part Swedish, part English, part gibberish.
Du inte kommer göra inget mål. Jag kommer göra mycket mer för dig.
In any language, it's Esa's calling card. In your face, drive the opponent crazy hockey. He's got Wayne Gretzky's number, and if he gets to you, he's got you.
When I, talk to them and really, when I go under skin, they start to becoming mad. They take penalties and they doing something bad things. So then I know I have a lot of fun and we can score the power play goal, win the game that way.
Get out of my way. See you later, New York.
Can't get it out of the zone. Rolls to center. Madonna coming. Blue liner. Hit the water bottle. Bounces to the crease and then is cleared away. That ricocheted off the crossbar and the water bottle at the same time as the water bottle bounced up in the air. Yo.
Oh, it never hit the cross. It just went right off the water bottle, and it just nicked it.
Oh, man. I've never seen that before. I've seen the water bottle from underneath on him. Finally, two able to poke check it away.
Somehow the vital connection is made.
On the TV series Barney Miller.
Hey, pass me the puck, Fish.
Don't call me Fish, rookie!
We tee off our Masters golf coverage.
Moving it in. Gagne goes to the net for Gagne, but blocked. Gagne just behind the D, but Weinrich stopped the pass. Courtnall back to him. Gagne up the side of the net. Gagne for Klatt. Belfort trying to cover and dives. And Klatt fangs the water.
And it wasn't a high-risk pass, but look at the play Courtnall made on the dive to keep it alive. Moved it over to Dave Gagne.
Be part of the Iceman Texas Tour.
That's what he's mad about. He didn't get that shot on net.
Steve Smith kicked it back. Watch Gagne here with a water bottle. Yeah, well, take our word for it. Water bottle.
Another penalty coming up. Delayed call. Courtnall, Gagne, shot saved. Belfort got a whistle even though it was loose, and then he covered it up. But a power play coming up. A little too much himself. Smith, 2-on-1. Smith, Weinrich. Shot saved by Wakaluk, who came out and cut it off. Darcy Wakaluk, second time he's done that.
Now two forwards back, though.
Oh, now they've got to race back the other way. A 3-on-3. Centering pass, Gagne. Gloved down by Eddie Belfour. He had no angle to shoot it. When Gagne ended up taking it, he was beyond the red line.
All he wanted to do, too, was get it back out in front or maybe bank it in. But Eddie Belfour went down on his side looking at him, and I think he gloved it on the way back. Jeremy Roenick got a terrific hit, but that kind of sprung a 3-on-2 loose coming the other way. Chelios with a good play to force the pass wide, but then an excellent...
Ryan White of Maine as he steps into Ron Sacca of Michigan.
Now Minnesota's Will Anderson catches UMD's Chris Sitlow. A Gopher drills a Bulldog.
More head-banging hits. John Arnold of Michigan gets taken out by UIC's Rob Matteau.
Now usually you try to stay away from Mike Greer, but give credit to Mass Lowell's Mike Henderson for trying to take him out.
Now the master of the takeout, though, Mr. Greer, he had more of his share of big hits this year, including this one against Northeastern.
And this is the hit of the year. Mike Greer stands up BC's Greg O'Callaghan. Greer had a penalty called on this one. Hit the guy just a bit too hard.
Oh, he just devastated him. What a hit. Now for some pretty short-handed goals. First, we go back to the Bean Pot. And this goal by Kenny Roush, he'll take off all the way in and then slides it underneath Greg Taylor.
Now, more goals of the shorthanded persuasion. Lake State's Bates Battaglia with the steal. He will be spun off the puck, but Wayne Strachan follows up for the Lakers.
More backbreakers. Michigan Tech at the WCHA. Travis Seal leads the rush to Andre Savage, then gives it back to DuPont. He scores the shorthanded effort against Wisconsin.
Now, how about Derek Knorr of the Flames? Here he has a great anticipation with the steal, then roofs it against Bowling Green, giving the Flames fans, something to keep their torches lit by.
They are good fans in Chicago. Now, some more pretty passing. Watch the Catamounts work the disc here. On the break, it'll be Rob Pattison poking it in.
More pretty passing. The Terriers on the power play. They'll work it around to Bob LaChance. And watch this great tip in.
Well, they had some great goals this year. Finally, though, New Hampshire with a great goal here, as it'll be Eric Flinton to Mark Mowers over to Eric Royal, who buries it.
Now, the Bad Break of the Year award at the GLI. Loose stick in front. Tim Hogan shoots and hits the stick, deflects past Luciano Caravaggio. It's a goal.
Now, best stick handling of the year goes to Brendan Morrison of Michigan. Somehow he gets around 2 Michigan State Spartan defenders, then gives it up to Mike Knubel, who puts it away.
Great goal. Now, the best deke of the year. Chris O'Sullivan of Boston University. Watch the shoulder fake. It's a dandy. Then through the legs of the defender, and he slides it over to Mike Greer. A goal.
Wow. The Sportsmanship of the Year award goes to Joe Bianchi of Wisconsin after Dave Paradise of St. Cloud State scores. Bianchi comes over and takes his skates out.
Got him. Now, Lack of Defense award goes to Michigan Tech for giving up this 5-on-1 against Michigan. Caravaggio, let me say it, he can sue for non-support.
I've never seen that. Now, the Help is on the away award goes to the Minnesota defense for bailing out Jeff Callanan. He makes the save here, tries to reach for the puck. He can't find it, but here comes Charlie Wasley diving in to knock it out of the crease. Then, off of this breakaway by O'Sullivan, the save by Callanan, the puck's headed in. This time, Jay Mosier dives in and sweeps it away from danger.
All right, now for some great saves actually made by the goaltender. Taras Lenzik of Duluth comes up with a big pad save on Casey Hankinson.
Then, in the national semifinals, Marty Turco on Jamie Thompson of Maine. He'll stretch out, and somehow his arm is long enough to gather in the puck.
Save of the year, you saw this one last week. Blair Allison in overtime on his back, robs Mike Legg.
And now the goal of the year will certainly bowl you over, and here it is, Jay McNeil of Colorado College.
And so they brought Jim Carey up from the Portland Pirates of the American League, and boy, did he turn things around. Look at the Caps record before Carey, 3-10-5.
Go to college was a big one, and then from college to the A was a big one, but from the A to the end is just, it's night and day. It's, you know, you're going from good to the best.
When you're playing the way he is, you're writing a story, and the entire media world wants a piece of your life. Is he tired of it yet?
No, you never get tired of this. You know, this is my NHL debut. It's my rookie year. You know, mentally I should be at my sharpest on the ice and off the ice.
One of the guys they'll probably be charging to the net tonight against Jim Carey. It may be the only way to get a puck by him. This 20-year-old playing so well. He could have the best goals against in the NHL since 1940.
And 2. Fasten your seatbelts.
This line. Green tried to hold it into the zone, could not. He intercepted Peter Bondra. Where is it? McClellan's got it underneath him. Jamie McClellan stays there while they're jamming Kristich.
Coverage out at the point. I think number 8, Dmitry Kristich, actually got tied up and couldn't get out to his man. Yeah, hit somebody in front. Good shot by Bob Beers. Nice and low, deflectable. Well, it may have gone off Pierre Turgeon's foot, or the Capital.
Getting out there tonight. McGinnis holds it in on the near side. Caps get the chance, save, and covered on the shot by another rookie, Jeff Nelson. To have a power play. They have given up 7.
Oh, wow.
Short-handed goal.
What a hit
change, and he hit again. Down he goes. Connor Walchuk leveled him. He just picked up a new.
Chuck, this is the second hit on Benny Hogue. He had just gotten the stick. I said, okay, I got the stick. Where's the puck? Where's that? Oh, I was thinking too much. And this wasn't as hard as a Tenorti hit, but it may have hurt him more because he didn't see it coming.
Did a whiplash on the head there.
Yeah.
Turgeon won the faceoff, takes the shot wide.
This is one of the guys you mentioned, Gary, that was so good for the Portland Pirates, and he just got through 2 Islanders. My, I mean, look at the Islanders, 4 of them, and he
couldn't get it. Tried to wrap around, but had no angle. Pretty good jump. Back comes Bondra. Peter Bondra dropped it. Kristich, couldn't get it. Tried to wrap around, but had no angle. 2 chances for Dmitry Kristich.
That big save by Jamie McClellan.
Physically, Tenorti open, save, and it flipped off into the corner. Done it again, big Connor Walchuk. Tkachuk off the stick. McLennan got that 1 years old. Jim Carey, 20 at the other end, continuing the young goaltender season. Oh, league and a shot behind the play. And getting up to put a late check on Ron Sutter. Sutter got leveled by coming
2-on-2, turned into a 3-on-2 single. And this is the hit right here that really ticked Ronnie Sutter off. Kevin Kaminsky weighs 170 pounds. He is a human cannonball. He hurts as many people as Mark Tenorti does, and he weighs 50 pounds less.
There is Klee out of Bowling Green University, played in the AHL in Baltimore and Portland last year and this year, was called up.
He hits so hard that he hurts a lot of time. I mean, he is fearless and he is ruthless.
Yeah, he is. He is. And Hogue looking. Ferraro was cutting, dropped it back. Malakoff shot deflected. Perry was there. Nets open. Benoit Hogue shoots it into the middle. Flatley was still down, and it's cleared.
Chuck back in the lineup, feeds Doug Bodger, and deflected home by Donald Audette. Mike Milbury is very happy about that goal. More on that coming up. Audette is 19th of the year, but the Whale comes back. Andrei Nikolitin. Look at the move. And Hasek actually almost got a piece of that one to tie it at 1. Then Wayne Presley, a hat trick of sorts, because he had 3 whacks at it. And finally, on the third one, gets it by Schonberg to make it 2-1. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, this first
back from suspension. And some hard hitting in this one. Scott Stevens, the bang on Alexander Selivanov. And the Lightning, they get the first break. Ex-Tampa defenseman Sean Chambers turns it over to ex-Devil forward Alexander Semak, who beats Martin Brodeur. Semak, his first with Tampa.
Most of their remaining games at home, they have to take advantage of the form crowd because, and here's the bad news, they can't win on the road. Patrick Waugh is having an average year at best, and Mark Recchi, the trade they made for offense, has backfired. Hartford is still in it despite an up-and-down season. They've been giant killers, ending winning streaks by Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. But just when they think they've got it made, they stumble on their road trip to Florida. They got 1 point. That's got to shake their confidence. The Whalers finished with 7 of 9 on the road. That's a tough schedule to end the 1995 season. The road doesn't frighten the Panthers. Here's John Van Beesbrook. He's kept them alive with a league-leading 4 shutouts. As for Tampa, a team led by Peter Klima may not be your first choice to make the playoffs. But it hasn't been all Klima. Roman Hamrlik has become a much better player, and Darren Pupa has been solid in goal. Give Tampa Bay and Terry Crisp credit for showing some staying power.
You know, one of your things was after Ferraro knocked his helmet off, he chopped his helmet when it was on the ice. Watch Ferraro coming off the glass here. When they finally come off the glass, look at Ferraro. Oh, I'm going to get your helmet.
Watch the spear. There's the spear right there.
Yep, it looked like Ray Ferraro nicked Mark Tenorti with the stick in the forehead, too.
Well, we'll get Juno knocked it away, but not out. They work down low. Marty McGinnis. McGinnis spinning. Beers cutting. Beers was in front. Pass never got to him. Score! He got one! Travis Green! The first goal in 41 games! And it's tied at 2.
You see the guys congratulating him. March 18th, 1994, the last time Travis Green scored a goal. I don't know what happened to Jim Carey on this play. It looked pretty innocent. It looked to me like he went for it with his stick and missed it. Right? The first shot was blocked. Travis Green, great effort to get there. See how Carey flipped his stick? As soon as he flipped his stick, maybe this will tell us. Here's Travis Green with a big effort. Jim Carey looked like he was trying to flip the puck out of harm's way, maybe direct the rebound to the corner, and he
back in Vasquez. They caught the Islanders on a change. Here's Miller. Miller scores! Kelly Miller, and that is a bad goal. Yeah, if you're the Islander goaltender.
Yeah, no question. That, and Jamie McLennan knows it. He is like a caged animal now, skating back and forth. This guy is a great competitor, but Lauren Henning said before the game he has to work on his mental toughness, so this will be a challenge to see if he can bounce back. Here is the turnover. That's how the Capitals got their second goal. Now, that went right under Jamie McLennan's stick, and you got to have it a little more firmly planted on the ice.
So Kelly Miller's got him the lead, 3-2. But lost at the basket. Here's a 2-on-0. 2-on-0. Center. Save. Rebounded. Pass goes wide. And a penalty coming up on the Islanders.
Here come the Capitals chasing them. Ronnie Sutter's shot. Then he went by Mick Vukota with the rebound shot, and then Mick Vukota tripped.
Peter Bondrix, Johansson, Bondra, their leading goal scorer. Scores! Oh, my Lord. That got there before the speed of sound. What a shot by Peter Bondra.
And how long will Jamie McLennan last?
4-2 Caps.
It's a terrific shot by Peter Bondra. Now you know why he is the leading goal scorer. He can not only fly, but what a shot. 11 goals in the last 9 games, but Jamie McLennan looked like he was back pretty far in his net here. He's not even out past the paint. His skates are still in the paint. Oh, heck. Jamie, not your fault, big guy. I thought that had gone under him and between his legs, but when Peter Bondra rips one off the post,
knocks it down at center. The other name you're going to be hearing about is Tommy Salo. He is the goaltender playing at Denver in the Islander organization. He is tearing it up there. He led the Swedish team to the gold medal in Lillehammer. And I got a feeling
has not only dropped them out of the serious picture, it likely cost them the job of their head coach. George Burnett fired late Thursday from his duties behind the bench. Assistant Ron Lowe takes over. Edmonton idle denied, but Pacific Division rival LA played host to the Stars. Dallas up 2-1 in the second period. Wayner passes to Darryl Sador. Back to Gretzky. He beats Andy Moog, his 10th of the season, and the game is tied at 2. In the third, Dan Quinn on the break. He beats Darian Hatcher, then slips it past Moog to make it 3-2. Late in the third now, Kings goalie Kelly Rudy, time to come up big. He fended off 11 third period shots, 44 total, to preserve the win. Kings on a roll. Dallas is involved in a 1-goal decision for the 9th time in 13 games. The win gives the Kings a 3-point edge on the Stars in the race for a playoff berth in the Western Conference.
Lightning struck at the Spectrum, Tampa Bay in Philly. Hello. 1-0 Tampa in the second period, and here comes Rob Zaminer ahead of the field. 2-on-1 with Alexander Semak. Pretty set up for Semak, who just touches it in. 2-0 Tampa Bay. And Ron Hextall. Oh, look out, pipes, and look out, stick. Second period, John LeClair, beautiful feed across to Kevin Haller. Look at right there, he's in. That's easy, ties it at 2. Third period, game tied at 3. Gary Galley just pokes it ahead, and here comes John LeClair, and look out, he's been just unloading on everybody. It trickles past the goalie. His 6th goal against Tampa Bay in 3 games this season, 21st of the season overall for LeClair. This gives Philly 3 straight wins over their Atlantic Division rival and gives them also a 3-point lead over Washington at the top. The Legion of Doom line's been the jewel for a while. The line of Eric Lindros, John LeClair, and Michael Renberg is flying. 6 more points, and this one gives them 122 points in the last 26 games. Lindros has been on the ice for 56 of Philly's last 81 goals. Buffalo went into the Baston Garden to test the Bruins. Ooh, high stick in the face will get you some penalty minutes every time. And then Yuri Hemelov on the doorstep pokes it in. 1-0 Sabres. We're tied at 1 in the third period, and look at Blaine Locker getting great goaltending of the Bruins right here. Point blank range. He says nope and keeps it a tie. Dominik Hasek was also stellar. The Sabres stay a point ahead of Boston for 3rd place in the Northeast Division. Nancy?
Next up, Le Colisée, an all-Quebec battle, and Pierre Turgeon in his 2nd game as a Canadian. Second period, Nords up 2-1. Bob Basson, the great pass to Owen Nolan. The 2nd of the game, 29th of the season, a 3-1 Nords lead. Now Turgeon hanging out in front. He will slip it past Stéphane Facette before the Nordique defender even gets there. I made it 3-2. That would be the eventual game winner. Facette and the Nords hold on, and in efforts around elsewhere in the league to fill the gap left at center with the loss of Jeremy Roenick for the season, the Blackhawks have reacquired Dennis Savard. A 6th-round draft choice in 1996 is the price paid to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The 34-year-old Savard played for Chicago from 1980 to 1990 and is the 16th all-time point getter in NHL history.
And now for our nightly feature, the Proof Pop
head coach. Dennis Savard spent the best years of his hockey career in Chicago. So when the Blackhawks found themselves in trouble, they knew whom to call. They called the Lightning and reacquired Savard for a 6th-round pick in the '96 draft. The Hawks are hoping they've got the old Lightning in a bottle, and Savard can replace Jeremy Roenick, who is out for the year. Minus Savard, Tampa Bay visiting Philly on Thursday night. Lightning strike early, 2-on-1. And Alexander Seamock scores. Ron Hextall a little on the emotional side, doing the Lizzie Borden act. Lightning up 2-0. But the Flyers wake up Eric Lindros. Sweet drop pass to Michael Renberg, who lights the light. The Flyers would explode with 3 goals in 6.5 minutes. And here, John LeClair to Kevin Haller, 3-2 Philly. But the Lightning would respond. Michael Anderson racing in, and we all fall down. The puck is in the net. 3-3 in the second. Flyers dominate after that. John LeClair with savoir-faire. He's everywhere. 5-4 Philly. LeClair with 6 goals in 3 games against Tampa Bay this season. Coach Terry Crisp not pleased at all with the Lightning effort, saying several of his players should go home, look at themselves in the mirror, and do some soul searching. Stars and Kings battling for a playoff spot in the West. Robert Shapiro out. Marty McSorley, Shane Churla, getting to know you. Second period tied at 1. Mike Kennedy to the middle. Backhander eludes Kelly Rudy. Stars go up 2-1. Later in the second, Darryl Sador and Wayne Gretzky give and go. The great one, his 10th goal, and we are tied at 2 apiece. Ahead to the third period. Dan Quinn on the rush. Beats Andy Moog. Kings up 3-2. Bruce McNall and Kurt Russell with a little high-fiving there. You see the final score. Kelly Rudy, 44 saves for the Kings, who are tied with Vancouver for the final playoff berth in the West. Bad news, Tony Granato broke his leg, his left leg in this game. He's out 3 to 5 weeks. When Brett Nair, 3-1 Nordiques. Nolan is 29th of the season. Third period. Pierre Turgeon hanging around front of the net. Pokes it in. Montreal is down only 3-2. Looking to tie. Canadiens on the break. It is Turgeon again. A burst of speed, but denied by Stéphane Fissette. Jacques Demers watching his Canadiens fall yet again. 3-2 to Quebec. The Nords and Canadiens split their home-and-home series this week. Quebec has now won 11 in a row at Le Colisée. The Sabres in Boston looking for their 5th straight win. Cam Neely getting warm and friendly with Matthew Barnaby. Bruins with 13 shots on goal in the first period. Dominik Hasek denies Sandy Mosier. Sabres on the power play. Check out Derek Plant stretching out to feed Yuri Imlev for the score. Great effort, 1-0 Buffalo. Second period, the puck is loose in front. Cam Neely says, thank you very much. He lights the light, his 21st, and we're tied at 1-1. Both goalies brilliant. Blaine Locker dead to rights here. How does he get the glove out to stop Imlev? And Hasek smothering the shot by Marius Zerkowski. Take your hat off to the goalies in this one. It ends in a 1-1 tie. Hasek.
He's a weirdo. Yeah. It's not like they're going around saying, we need a normal chick to dance on this truck. Yeah. Hey, buddy, you think I could make some, money if I acted like a weird chick? I think you have to, be from England or something. Oh, damn it. Whoa, she's grabbing her crotch. Oh, yeah. Hey, buddy, I thought chicks didn't have a crotch. No, dumbass. You're thinking of nads.
Be here for another quality hour of Beavis and Butthead again tomorrow night.
The bench, Connor Walchuk over there. Put the fake on. He's got a man in the middle. Gendron, Connor Walchuk. McLaren made the save, and a penalty coming up. A slashing call. Picks up the penalty. Another power play for the Cavs.
Pretty good play by Steve Konowalchuk, 22. And oh, man, did he ever get slashed by number 4, Brent Severin of the Islanders. It looked like it hurt him. Konowalchuk made a good play just to step in front. To me, like Severin gave him a little headbutt even after the play was with. Watch Chris Luongo.
I take it all back. It was a great pass to the wrong guy.
If Bondra gets in behind him, he's wide of the net. In other words, you can't let him get behind you like that.
Carey makes the big save on Pelfy. A 5-2 Caps lead, and it's getting ugly here at the Nassau County Coliseum. Pelfy the tip, Carey the save. 2 big saves by Jim Carey right there. Now a penalty knocked it away. Pelfy, power play, down to 40 seconds left on it. Change along the line. Here's Benoit Hogues out. Turgeon flat. Oh, my gosh. When a goaltender's confident, folks, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Just like picking it out of the air. Just a little walk in the park. Our Pringle storyline here at the Nassau County Coliseum.
What a dandy. Pat Flatley did a good job to corral this. Watch what Carey does. He grabs it. See how he tucks the glove into his tummy? He does that all the time. He's like a halfback that gets the ball. The first thing he does is he wants to avoid the fumble. He wants to avoid dropping the puck. Zoom, the glove is out, snaps it, brings it back into his stomach so that nobody can get it out of his hand and so that he won't drop it. He does that all the time, and it's a terrific habit.
Shot by Baskey. Carey covered. Thomas falls down. Puck goes behind him. Cleared out of the zone by Miller. Here comes Connor Walchuk, short-handed. McLennan made the save off the glove. Benoit Hogues, flatly away to Ferrara. His shot, Carey sticks it away. Carey's playing like this is a Sunday, and he's fooling around with the kids in the park right now.
He always plays like that.
Man, Marty McGinnis, where is it? Little wide, Carey made the save.
You almost think that he is a little lackadaisical at times, and then he thinks, but that's just his style. He does not overreact.
Juno, McLennan's got it. Capitals up 5-2. Let's check it. Jim Carey. Carey banged it by King. Pelfy, the shot. Score! A mistake by Carey. And it's 5-3 Capitals.
What? Coming at us. Jim Carey was back. That time he went for it with the glove and just couldn't get to it in time.
Parked that one right in the corner between the crossbar and the post. Pelfy's 5th of the season at 6 in the National Hockey League in scoring. Capitals back 2-on-1. Johnson centered. Tipped wide Lundgren, and the goaltender got hit by his own player, Dennis Baskey. Jamie McLennan got run into by Baskey. McLennan getting up slowly at the other end. Offside. Gets the whistle.
Well, he got nailed. I think he got out of the way a little bit, but Baskey got part of his legs. Here's the pass from Jimmy Johnson. Peter Bonder breaking for the net, and Baskey just went for it with the dive. Oh, man, his arms were tucked down, and he actually looked like he arched his back, kind of a whiplash in the back, and he hit his mask. Oh, yeah, that's why he wears a mask.
They have a couple of
gone for the New York Islanders. About 10 days ago, Tommy Soderstrom shut out the New York Rangers 1-0, played the best game of the season. That night, somebody stole his chest protector and arm pads from the locker room. They are hard to break in. I tried on a new set before the game just to see what they were like. I mean, you can't. I could hardly bend my arm up or touch my nose. And you see what he did? He cut them there and cut them on the other side to try to get them, broken in. He was pulled in 3 consecutive games wearing that new set. And he had the old set since he was 18 years of age. Goalies hate breaking into new equipment, especially that set of pads that I just stylishly modeled.
Would you like to be a robot? I think there's a... Oh, never mind. They're back out through center. Connor Walchuk moving.
See out of that one. The same thing you've seen earlier in the year from the New Jersey Devils. Watch this lead pass by Dean to Ralston. Sends him in all alone. Bergeron stays right with him, but the Devils just can't score. Then they look to their top gun, Stefan Richer, all alone on Bergeron. He misses wide. That's just as bad as giving it away in your own end.
Tampa has just 1 win in their 9 visits to Jersey and drunken driving charges. Hasek couldn't do much to stop that, though. Andre Nikolic in the great move to tie things at 1. Second period, 2-1 Sabres. I mean, this has been breakaway city tonight. Pat LaFontaine, the terrific move to make it 3-1 Buffalo. It is 5-1 now. They are in that second intermission.
Finish. The Vancouver Canucks are a good bet to make it. They've got a couple things in their favor. Defenseman Jeff Brown should be back in the lineup soon, and the Canucks are in a good enough position that playing .500 hockey will get them into the postseason. The Kings, another team that faced an early tea time, have picked it up. They're 7-4-3 since early March, when the front office did a top-to-bottom evaluation of the organization. Wayne Gretzky's been putting on a show, and the Kings have a roster with plenty of playoff experience. They should make it. Edmonton is still alive, but just barely. Their past 7 games have been disappointing. They're 0-6-1 in that span, and even a good start can't offset those numbers. The Sharks are fading and fast. They're inexperienced. Even with veteran Igor Larionov back from his injury, they need more help than he can give them. And Artur Urbes, well, he simply hasn't been the goaltender he was last year. The Dallas Stars get Andy Moog back from an injury. He'll be their #1 goaltender down the stretch run with Darcy Walklock out. And Big Mike Modano has got to get red hot if the Stars are going to keep their playoff foothold.
The Oilers right now on the way his style is on the ice. He makes big saves at key moments in most of the games, just as he did on the weekend here. You'll see Adam Oates come in all alone, and look at Carey. This is a tight game, guys, and this is a great save. Carey has single-handedly saved their season at Washington. Now, how do we know? Is this flash in the pan just as a spark? Is this something that's going to run out by the end of the season come the playoffs? I don't think so. I think this guy's going to win the Calder Trophy, and I think if there's any justice and he keeps this up, he's going to win the Hart as well. Wow, that's quite a statement. The Hart Trophy being the most valuable player in the...
He has to make a decision, all right? Carey has the puck. He can bank it off the boards here, but he doesn't really know what is up here because these two guys are screening him out. He can go behind the net, and really that's advisable because his defenseman has position and can be the first guy to get there. He picks plan A, and he didn't know what was up there. Zygmunt Palffy was up there, rocketed one to the top of the net. So those decisions will come with time. We know that he knows how to stop him. This is the bulge in the net. Look at how the twine, you can even see in this area, a little bit of black on the net. I wonder if that was some of the puck from that shot by Ziggy Palffy, but the net actually buckled right there where Palffy shot. 7 tough saves of the 18 shots he has faced, and now he is in relief. This is the man that came here in the trade in the offseason when Ron Hextall went to the Philadelphia Flyers.
There are the numbers he has put up recently. A penalty picked up by Ken Flea, who has one of the goals in this game.
Really how much ability this man has. Vladimir Malakhov can skate as well as anybody in the NHL. He can shoot as well as anybody in the NHL. But one night he'll look like Dennis Potvin. The next night he'll look like Lucien Tranche-Montagne, who played on a senior team in my hometown.
He still does.
No, I think he passed away a couple of years ago, actually.
Not nice to bring that name up under those circumstances.
Well, you got the point. You got the point, and I got your attention on that one.
Malakhov.
That's more than he makes salary-wise.
Oh, he makes $300.
Well, he's just a little short then. He'll get up to the $500,000 mark if he can snap up the Calder Trophy as the top rookie.
Here's the breakaway, short-handed shot on Soderstrom, deflected wide. Michael Pavonka had 2 Islanders with him finally, not a clear break. There's a hook takedown off the blocker of Soderstrom. Kelly Johansson on the backhander. Johansson trying to send it behind the net basket.
I heard that at one point he had a kitten.
My kitten? What are you guys talking about?
Do you have a kitten?
No, Eric's just, I remember he was jabbing me earlier. I used to have a cat when I was younger. I'm going to get it back. It was on national TV.
That's not true? You don't
No, well, I had one when I was younger. It was just... I used to have hamsters. I always had a lot of pets, and then I got this kitten he picked up for free, and he's been riding me ever since about it.
He's rolling around on the floor now.
Eric's watching, laughing like crazy.
Your brother wants a piece of you.
He's only 19. Gosh, you talk about somebody that's fresh and open and will just sort of have a good time with you.
Luongo! And a check by Holt to try and bat it in, hit the pile. Miller comes the other way to Cote. What a chance for the Islanders right there. The save was made by Carey. The Capitals making sure their D are there. Sutter, center shot. Carey the save. No rebound chance. Carey was down on the ice and made the save. Down low. Couldn't be handled there by Rob Pearson. He got tied up in the corner. Puck still loose over there. Caps hold it in the zone. Juno center. Great save, Tommy Soderstrom. Jim Johnson cutting, and Juno put it right on the stick. Johnson again sends it over to Juno. Joey Juno's passing has been beautiful in this.
Soderstrom, because he came in relief of Jamie McLennan. Could have fooled us. Terrific save here. Wonderful pass from Joey Juno to Jimmy Johnson, and Soderstrom had to be so quick getting across. Just for the record, Jimmy Johnson, number 4 for the Capitals, is another guy that does not have a goal. And it has been the night for everybody to get on the board that hasn't been on the board yet this year. Or for a while last year in Travis Green's case.
Yeah. First goal for Beers, Flea, and Green, all in tonight's game. Joey Juno, there's the assist man right there. 5-3 lead for the Caps.
You know, we mentioned the problem that Tommy Soderstrom had 10 days ago when his chest protector was stolen. He had to try to break in a new one and was pulled in 3 consecutive games wearing his new equipment that he had to wear because the one that he'd worn for 7 years was stolen. We talked to Jim Carey about the chest protector. He said, you know what? The one I'm wearing was at Wisconsin 2 years before I got there to play. And he wore it during his 2 years at Wisconsin, and he has worn it all this year. So that's year 5 for the chest protector and arm protector that Jim Carey wears. I said, well, if it was there 2 years before you got there, how come it's still not there? Like, didn't you have to leave it there? You got a little quiet there. So if the athletic department is looking for the chest protector, it's under this jersey tonight.
And he just made the save on Patrick Flatley on the back end. Ray Ferraro cleared it around. Flatley's got it. Power play for the Islanders. 1:09 left to go on it. Jammed in the middle. Thomas 2-on-1 down low. Empty net. Score! Patrick Ray Ferraro has made this a 1-goal game.
He's got them close. 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Lodine, and what a play from Steve Thomas, number 32, standing right up in front of Jim Carey. He got it, slipped it over to Ferraro. Well, that's one of the few times that Jim Carey committed first. And as soon as Carey went down, watch Carey here, down. Not against Ray Ferraro. Sugar Ray right around them and in. Now we've got a 5-4 game. How?
When we get to them. Full coverage, both conferences, all the way through the Stanley Cup Finals. Ray Ferraro, Mr. Guts of the New York Islanders. Here's Connor Walchuk. Tommy Soderstrom makes the save. Soderstrom's coming up big here. He is not allowed to watch heat on here this period. Bondra comes with Hunter in a 2-on-2. Caps changes. Here's a screen. Bondra hit the outside of the... Malakoff up for Hogue. Hogue flipped it up to Ferraro, tipped it over to Thomas. Thomas for the tie. Dropped it back. Nobody there. Swung into the pile by Ferraro. No whistle. It's underneath the Capitol. There's the puck freed up to Connor Walchuk. Still doing Battle of Luongo over there. Connor Walchuk dumped it a little deeper. Down low. Knocked away Soderstrom from Miller. And Pope checked away into the corner. Opportunity there.
But in his case, he's got a little offense to work with tonight. 5.
Al.
Well, you've talked about Jim Carey coming out of Wisconsin, but it goes even further than that. If you go back to his high school, it's an absolute hockey factory in Massachusetts, Catholic Memorial in West Roxbury. Jim Carey, one of 4 NHL players to go into the NHL, starting with Knuckles, Chris Nyland back in '75. 27 players drafted in the NHL from that program, and 5 players on BU's NCAA champ.
Former Islander up for Miller. Miller got it out of the zone to Connor Walchuk. Connor Walchuk fakes, in, takes, saves Soderstrom. Rebound centered all the way back to the blue line. Cote dumps it down deep. We're looking at the time remaining in this 1-goal game. Turgeon tipped at the center. Pelfrey was hanging. Picked up by King. Derek King moving it in. Soderstrom goes to the bench. Islanders have the extra skater on the ice. Not much time to get it. Malakoff shot. Deflected deep. Miller's got an empty net at the other end. Miller dumped on the far side. Good check put on by Beers.
What a great play by Beers. He didn't want to give up the red line.
Pelfrey sends it in wide on Jim Carey. Reekie over to get it. Caps trying to clear the zone. Can't. Beers held it in again. King trying to center.
Here, they're going to have to win the draw. There's Malakoff coming back too on another play, but Dale Hunter really got leveled by Malakoff. But
Calgary, Joe Murphy. Watch the sweet move to Patrick Poulin, and he scores, and that put the Blackhawks up by a score of 1-0. More pressure out of Chicago. Remember, the Flames have Trevor Kidd in goal, and he comes up with a big stop on the backhand on Sergei Krivokrasov. Kidd keeping the Flames in it, and they have just gone to that first.
Flyers to the Buffalo Sabres. Galley's going to give the Sabres some offense from the blue line. He's totaled 22 points in 33 games. In return, the Flyers get defenseman Peter Svoboda from Buffalo. Svoboda can mix it up with the best of them, recording 60 penalty minutes in 26 games. He only has 5 assists, though, this season. Now, if Ranger fans were expecting a blockbuster, they didn't get it, but they did get a center they needed. The defending champs picking up Vancouver's Nathan Lafayette for Corey Hirsch. They also received a 5th rounder for Eddie Olczyk. The Bruins, they get some goalie insurance with Craig Billington, among the other deals. And there were many. Troy Murray, Norm MacGyver, they're reborn, you see, because they escaped Ottawa For Pittsburgh, the Senators getting Martin Straka in return. In all, 15 trades were made involving 27 players on this day. Bob?
A second day of no testimony at the...
Fox had two forceful personalities, with Mike Keenan of St. Louis and Scotty Bowman of Detroit behind the benches. But the main force was on the ice.
He gets the line. Primo round check right in. Primo the shot. He scored. Heath Primo. What a dazzling rush up the ice. Fedorov able to regain control. And works his way to center. Sergei Fedorov dance around a check. He cuts to the net. He's in. He shoots. He scored. Fedorov. We've had two highlight film goals already from Detroit.
The Red Wings took a 2-0 lead and had the chance for more as they went on a two-man advantage power play. But the Blues made the most of their situation thanks to Brendan Shanahan and Brett Hull.
He gave it to Coffey. Forced to shoot it in with a two-man advantage. Barrett back and gets help to clear. A breakaway for Hull. He's two men short. He's in. Hull the shot. He scored. What a turn of events. Brett Hull, while the Blues are short-handed by two men, scores a short-handed goal with a nifty backhander. 2-1 Detroit.
The game would finish in a 3-3 tie, and Fox would finish the day with ratings that were nearly 50% higher than the predetermined target. And that was a goal well worth making. Now Brute presents
Communication quicker.
4-3-1 in their last 8. The Ducks are 4 points out of a Western Conference playoff spot. Goaltender Guy Apr has been incredibly steady in the net, and this team still thinks it has a chance of making it to the post. He's the leading goal scorer in the NHL, Owen Nolan of the Quebec Nordiques, and he vaulted to the top on the strength of a week that included not one but 2 hat tricks. The first against the Rangers, the second against the Senators. Cash is hit out front for Boston for goal, and he's got the hat trick. The player of the week, the Quebec Nordiques top gun, Owen Nolan. Tied and 3.5 seconds remaining. Dave Gagne got the call.
Comes Gagne. The game's down the line. Will it be overtime or will it be a Red Wing victory? Gagne. Oh, he mishandled it. Oh, my. Look at what happened. Do you believe this? Oh, my. Oh, I have never seen that before. Gagne completely missed.
Penalty shot against the Red Wings with the score tied and 3.5 seconds remaining. Dave Gagne got the call.
Comes Gagne. The game's down the line. Will it be overtime or will it be a Red Wing victory? Gagne. Oh, he mishandled it. Oh, my. Look at what happened. Do you believe this? Oh, my. Oh, I have never seen that before. Gagne completely miscued.
One guy who didn't miscue was rookie Steve LaRouche of the Ottawa Senators. In his 5th game, LaRouche had a hat trick against Montreal. His 3rd goal tied the score late.
Voilà, McIver. Vers LaRouche, il est vu!
The Canadiens were in the midst of a 9-game road losing streak. One more loss would tie their all-time record. Moments later, they were saved from that dubious distinction.
Haut de line, avec une remise d'en fou. Oh, voilà! Avec 14 secondes, Vincent D'Anfous.
The Canadiens won 5-4. A special edition of Top 5 Goals brought to you by Calcium-Rich Tums as we pay tribute to Alexei Zhamnov's 5-goal game.
Zhamnov. Taken by Zhamnov. Alexei Zhamnov across the line. He dropped it back to Dallas Drake. To Zhamnov in front. Shoots. He scores! Alexei Zhamnov got it from Dallas Drake and walked right in front and ties the game.
It's Zhamnov entering the zone. One drop pass. Gets it back immediately.
Zhamnov with it again, in front, poked away, backhanded by Newman and deflected wide. Loose puck score! Zhamnov was there. Now up to center here, Zhamnov looking for the hat trick. Can't get the shot, Sidor cut him off. Zhamnov to the blue line, shoots, he scores! The hat trick for Alexei Zhamnov. And the Jets lead 5-3. Zhamnov shoots, save. Zhamnov shoots. He scores his 4th of the game.
Really not necessarily necessarily a great scoring chance. Granato comes back, gets beat on the quick step, then Jamnoff just a half step ahead of Tony Granato.
Jamnoff. Into the blue line, and now down the right side, Jamnoff looking again, he shoots, he scores! What a move! His 5th of the game! What a play by Jamnoff! Went to the left, tucked it back on the right. 5 goals in the game.
Congratulations, Alexei, and take a shot with us next time.
Here, you know, Bernie Nichols has come in here and provided a lot of leadership.
Moving right in, unchallenged, the shot, he scored! Bernie Nichols with his 17th career hat trick.
When you're winning, it's fun, and when you're losing, it's a job. And, you know, I think